On the very same day that Republicans in Congress continue to flounder, a strong new jobs report for December proves that once again, President Biden and the Democrats deliver for the American people. It's Friday, which means that we're ending the first week of the new year, and the theme so far, and again, this is only 1 week, is that 2023 has been relatively kind to Democrats and relatively unkind to Republicans. And if you need additional proof of that, you can check out the news, which says that we added a strong jobs report for December, actually higher than what was expected by economists, to the point that the unemployment rate has dropped back down to 3.5%, which, as the White House Twitter account is, self-congratulatorily noting, is the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years. That's good news for the White House. It's good news for the Biden administration, for Democrats, and really for the country as a whole. An Axios article goes into deeper detail about this Department of Labor report. 223,000 jobs added in December. Economists predicted 200,000, so we're exceeding expectations in that regard. The unemployment rate is overall 3.5%, and this helps cool the idea that the country is in a recession. Typically, the jobs market doesn't do well when a country is in a recession, right? So this is continuing proof to the contrary. That doesn't mean that there aren't legitimate economic stresses or that a recession couldn't occur, but this is additional proof or additional suggestion that we are not there yet, if at all. Now, the jobs report does note that the December jobs data is one of the last major labor market indicators of 2022, a solid year of job gains that brought the nation back to pre-pandemic levels of employment and then some. In terms of employment, we're actually better than we were pre-pandemic. But, and this is the kicker, the report does note that it's still short of the level where we would be had the pandemic not occurred in the first place, or had the Trump administration done a better job of managing the pandemic in its infancy, right? So you can make a case that Donald Trump's rhetoric, his inconsistent policies, his refusal to rally the Republican Party, Republican governors in red states into taking the virus seriously, helped contribute to the economic catastrophe, right? And so even though President Biden is cleaning up Trump's mess, it does make you wonder where we would have been had that mess never been caused in the first place. Additionally, it's important to note, kind of in the broader context, that this really helps undermine a very popular urban myth about the Republican Party and the Democratic Party with respect to jobs and the economy. So how often have you heard the phrase, I'm socially liberal but fiscally conservative? Because the trope is that conservatives or Republicans are better stewards of the economy, when the fact of the matter is there's no data to support that for the past 35 years. Simon Rosenberg is a Democratic operative. He worked for the Clinton administration. He was the one who predicted in November, famously, that there would be no red wave. And so his notoriety has skyrocketed. But since then, or even before then, I was a big fan of his. And he has been a constant trumpeter of the fact that Democrats are actually better in terms of metric on the economy, and especially when it comes to jobs. So you break it down, between 16 years of Presidents Clinton and Obama, 33.8 million jobs were added to the economy. I mean, Clinton is still the gold standard, right, in many respects. So the job gains under the Clinton administration were extraordinary. In 23 months under President Biden, so this December and all the months since January 2021 when he was inaugurated, 10.7 million jobs were added to the economy in about 2 years. That's extraordinary. And you contrast that with 16 years of George Herbert Walker Bush, George W. Bush, and President Trump, 1.9 million jobs in terms of net jobs, right, were added to the economy. That's extraordinary. That's an extraordinary contrast and continues to prove that Republicans are not fiscally responsible. They're not better for jobs. They're not better for the economy. Democrats are. And Democrats just simply have to get better about bragging about that fact.